The movie begins with Arthur Fleck getting ready with his makeup, forcing a smile on his face. He works as a party clown on the streets trying to attract customers. A few teens made fun of him and run away after taking his board while Arthur chased after them to get his board back. However, he was later beaten up by the teens after he catch up. Arthur had neurological disorder causing him to laugh in inappropriate times, but he had taken medications and seek for consultations for his conditions. When he was on his way home by bus, a woman accused Arthur bothering her child. Arthur couldn't control himself and started to laugh. Arthur went home living with his mother, Penny, in an old apartment block, and they both watched the television show together while Arthur imagined himself to be with the star of the show, Murray. Back to reality, Arthur's co-worker, Randall, gave him a gun for self-defense, but as a person with mental illness, he wasn't allowed to have armed weapons. Arthur went to see Hoyt in his office and Hoyt told Arthur he had complaints about him. Arthur told him about what happened that day, but Hoyt didn't believe him and wanted Arthur to return the signboard. Arthur is extremely furious to be treated like that and returned home, but later met single mother named Sophie Demond in the apartment elevator. At home, Arthur was having a conversation with his mother about Thomas Wayne. Later, he accidentally fired the gun in the living room and alerted his mother. Arthur went to a stand-up nightclub and listened to the stand-up comedian's joke, but he couldn't understand the jokes and tried to follow the audience when they laugh. At home, Sophie visited Arthur and he invited her to his upcoming stand-up routine at the nightclub. She promised him and went back home. In the hospital, Arthur was performing to the children. Suddenly, his gun fell out from his pocket, which caused him being fired by Hoyt when Randall lied that the gun was Arthur's own. In the subway, Arthur couldn't control himself again and started laughing, which caused him beaten up by 3 drunk businessmen from the Wayne Enterprises. At the end, Arthur shot 2 of them out of defense and killed the 3rd businessman as he attempted to escape from him. Arthur quickly escaped and ran away from the scene. The next day, Arthur went to pack his stuff and his ex-coworker harassed him. He went back home and saw Thomas Wayne on the television, who called the people being envious of more successful people clowns. Arthur went to see his counselor, but he was told that the funding cuts shut down the social service program, which leaves Arthur without his therapy and medication. In the nightclub, Sophie attended Arthur's stand-up performance, but it went poorly as Arthur felt nervous and laughed uncontrollably. His jokes didn't respond well from the audience, but only Sophie supported him. At home, Arthur saw a letter Penny wrote to Thomas, alleging that Arthur is his illegitimate son, but Arthur quarreled with his mother, hiding the truth from him. Arthur went to the Wayne Manor the next day and met Thomas's son Bruce. Alfred came and tried to ask him to leave and told him that Penny was delusional, which he refused to believe. When Arthur arrived at his apartment, he saw his mother fainted and being sent to the hospital caused by a stroke. He was approached by 2 detectives asking him about the murder that happened. In the hospital, while Arthur is accompanying Penny, he saw Murray on the TV show, mocking him by showing some clips from his stand-up performance. Arthur saw in the news that group of people protested while donning clown masks in Arthur's image to start a demonstration against the Gotham's rich. Arthur sneaked into a movie theater to meet Thomas, but he was told that Penny was delusional, and she adopted him, but Arthur refused to believe Thomas. When Arthur was at home, he received a call from the Murray Show which invited him to attend their show as a special guest, and he accepted the offer. Arthur stole Penny's file from the hospital, which stated that she was narcissistic and adopted Arthur and raised him with her abusive boyfriend. Penny was later sent to the Arkham Hospital for allowing the abuse. Arthur went to Sophie's, but she was scared and terrified by the visit of Arthur and asked him to leave. Arthur finally realized that their relationship was a delusion. Arthur went to see Penny, but she insisted that the adoption papers were forged to cover up that Arthur is Thomas's illegitimate child. She was later murdered by Arthur in her bed. Before Arthur attended the Murray show, he practiced for his performance, dyed his hair green and got ready with his makeup as a clown. Arthur's ex-colleagues, Gary and Randall, visited him, but Randall was later murdered out of revenge and spared Gary for being nice to him in the past. Arthur, now dressed as a clown, was approached by two detectives and they pursued him onto a train filled with clown protesters. One of the detectives shot a protester which started a riot and Arthur escaped. Before starting the show, Murray greeted Arthur and Arthur asked Murray to introduce him as Joker, which refers to Murray's mockery. On the show, he started to tell morbid jokes, confessed to the train murder, complained about the society abandoned the mentally ill people and berates Murray for mocking him. Murray criticized him for his actions and threatens to call the police, but Arthur shot him in the head. Arthur was arrested but a riot outbreaks across the Gotham City. When Arthur was transported in the police car, another vehicle crashed into them, and Arthur was rescued by the rioters. In the meantime, the Wayne family was cornered in an alley by a rioter. Thomas and his wife, Martha, was murdered while Bruce's life was spared. Arthur woke up surrounded by the rioters and he danced on the car along with the cheers of the crowd while smearing blood on his face to form a smile. The movie ends with Arthur having a psychotherapy session in the Arkham State Hospital, and he seemingly escaped by murdering the psychiatrist, leaving a blood trail of footprints behind.